All right, good afternoon, fourth graders. Today we are going to work on decimals and expanded notation, which is very similar to what we've practiced before with just numbers in general and expanded notation. So if I have a number that looks like this, and I'm expanding it out using the place value to write it, I would write it as 300 plus 40 plus 5. The same thing goes with decimals. So let's just say I throw a decimal in here. Now, instead of 345, I have 3 and 45 hundredths. Change the value. But this time I'm going to look and see, well, that 3 is worth just 3. So I write that. This 4 is worth 4 tenths. So I have to make sure my decimal says 4 tenths. And then same with that 5. That 5 is worth 5 hundredths, not 5 tenths. So I have to make sure I put my decimal, put my 0 to make sure my 5 gets in my hundredths place value. So this would be that number written in expanded notation. Let's look at a little bit bigger of a one. So let's say we have 427 and 342 thousandths. Again, I'm just going to take it place value by place value. This first one is worth 400. The 2 is worth 20. The 7 is worth 7. This is where it gets interesting. I'm after the place value, or after the decimal point, so I have to put my decimal. That 3 is worth 3 tenths. That 4 is worth 4 hundredths. And then lastly, that 2 is worth 2,000. So I have to make sure when I write it out that 2 ends up in the thousandths place. So that's a little bit of a bigger number, but just making sure that I'm paying attention to all the place values, because this 2 has to say 2 thousandths, and this one has to say 4 hundredths, and so forth with that with 3 tenths. I'm going to give you one to try on your own. This is a nice short little video, but we're going to be practicing this a lot more in class tomorrow. So if you're ready for it, go ahead and try that on your own. So practicing reading that one, it would be 98 and 321 thousandths. Go ahead and give that a try. Like I said, we're going to practice this a lot more in class tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you in class so we can practice our expanded notation.